Let's talk about one of the most common and, honestly, most costly mistakes a business can make. It's a decision that feels really smart in the moment, but it can slowly, quietly cripple an entire organization. And it all starts with maintenance.
So put yourself in this situation for a second. The pressure is on, big time, to improve the bottom line. You've got to find savings, and you've got to find them fast. What's the first budget that pops into your head? For a whole lot of leaders, the answer seems obvious.
You go right for the maintenance budget. I mean, it feels like such a direct, immediate way to save money. Less spending today means more profit tomorrow, right? It seems so logical, almost like a financial cheat code.
But that quick win, it's actually a slow motion disaster. And this is the story of that exact trap. And way more importantly, how to avoid it by thinking about the problem in a completely different way. So first, let's get a really close look at this trap. We're going to trace the path of this seemingly smart decision and see exactly how and why it backfires so badly. We'll call this first path the wrong turn. It's the one that kicks off with that simple idea. Just slash the maintenance budget.
The thinking here is totally short-term. The number one goal is cost reduction, and the way you do it is just stop spending. You put off repairs, you skip the preventative checks, and you know what? For a little while, the numbers on your spreadsheet look pretty good.
But then, reality hits. And this slide right here is based on a real case study. So check this out. At the start, let's say our maintenance cost is at an index of 100. After just 5 years of this cost-cutting focus, the actual maintenance spending has shot up by 50%. And just look at the lost revenue from breakdowns. It's exploded to an index of 300. By year 10, your costs are almost double where you started, and your lost revenue is a staggering 6.5 times higher. The cuts didn't actually cut costs at all. They made everything worse. And this is the perfect illustration of why. It's a vicious cycle. You cut the budget, so less preventative work gets done. Well, naturally, equipment starts to fail more often. And all of a sudden, your team is just running around, putting out fires, and all your work becomes reactive and totally chaotic. And those emergency repairs, the overtime, the rush shipping on parts, and that crippling production downtime, that's what makes your costs just explode.
Okay, so if that's the trap, what's the way out? Well, it's a simple but really powerful shift in your focus. Instead of obsessing over cost, you have to obsess over reliability. This is the core idea that flips the entire problem right on its head. First things first, you have to accept this fundamental truth. Chasing cost reduction as your main goal will never, ever make your operations more reliable. In fact, as we just saw, it does the complete opposite. And here it is. This is the secret. If you instead focus all your energy on improving the reliability of your equipment and your processes, lower cost will just be the natural result. It feels totally counterintuitive, I know, but it absolutely works. Reliable equipment doesn't break down, which means you spend less on emergencies and you lose less to downtime. Simple as that. Okay, so what does focusing on reliability actually look like in the real world? It builds from this simple idea into a concrete strategy, and it all starts with being disciplined. Yeah, it starts with discipline. So many people use these words, planning and scheduling, like they mean the same thing, but they are totally different. Planning is the what and the how. It's thinking through every single step of a job before it even starts. Scheduling is the when and the who. It's about putting that perfectly planned job onto the calendar for the right time with the right person. You absolutely need both to be efficient. One without the other just doesn't work. Next up is this idea of essential care, which basically proves that reliability isn't about fancy, expensive technology. No, it's about mastering the fundamentals. We're talking about things like proper lubrication, precise alignment, and just keeping things clean. These simple preventative actions are what stop failures from ever happening in the first place. Even for gigantic, complex events like a full plant shutdown, the reliability approach isn't chaos. It's a structured, repeatable process. You start with a strategy, you optimize the work that actually needs to get done, then you plan it, you schedule it, and you execute. And crucially, you analyze the results to get better the next time. It's a cycle of continuous improvement, not a cycle of chaos. So what happens when you take this other path, when you choose the right strategy of focusing on reliability instead of just chasing cost cuts? Well, the results, they really speak for themselves. Let's look at our second case study. Here, the focus was all on reliability improvement.
Starting from that same baseline of 100, by year 5, maintenance costs have actually decreased by 20%. And instead of lost revenue, they have increased revenue by 20% because of better uptime. By year 10, costs are down by a third, and revenue is up 40%. Better performance, lower cost, that's the payoff. And if you want to see that payoff in real dollars, just look at this number. In one plant, a tiny 1% bump in equipment reliability translated to nearly $1 million in additional profit every single year. It just goes to show you the incredible financial power you unlock when you focus on the right thing. So, here's the bottom line. The choice between cutting costs and improving reliability, it's a false choice. It's not a real thing. One is a short-term trap that always leads to higher costs and total chaos. The other is a long-term strategy that leads to lower costs and way higher value. It all just comes down to what you choose to focus on.